As any parent may know personally or could imagine, the loss of a child due to a death is traumatic, stressful, and in this world, permanent. One might argue that in the case of parental alienation, the pain of loss may be somewhat different. The pain of this tragic circumstance is that this loss is due to an unjustified withholding of a child's physical presence as a result of another's vengeance and vindictiveness. It's like psychological kidnapping has occurred, which creates the intense uncertainty of not knowing if, as a parent or a grandparent, you will be sentenced to spending the remainder of your life separated by lies from your precious child or grandchild, or if at some point the relationship will or could be restored. And the lack of recognition of this ambiguous loss means that the one suffering is more likely to be disenfranchised, as they don't feel that they have the freedom or acceptance to express their grief publicly, as they are more often than not questioned when they need comfort. Because there is often this belief among uninformed people that you must have done something. These circumstances cause the alienated parent or grandparent to go underground, if you will, with their grief. The combined dynamics of ambiguous loss and disenfranchised grief undermines one's resiliency, and it makes it difficult for them to fully participate and live present each and every day. All too often as a society, we look at ourselves and attempt to neatly segment ourselves. We have our physical bodies, and then we often conceptualize our mind, soul, and inner self. However, you want to think about it as being separate from each other, maybe not consciously, but subconsciously we often do. I work with a lot of individuals who mentally dwell on negativity and often don't see the interconnectivity between who they are in their mind and who they appear to be, which is only further complicated by who they want to be, which may be different from the first two. As I was conducting my dissertation research regarding trauma within family systems and the detrimental effects a dysregulated nervous system has on one's mental health, I was fascinated by the work of Dr. Siegel and Dr. Van der Kolk. In my own practice today, I apply much of their principles when I work with clients who have experienced trauma. Both Dr. Siegel and Dr. Van der Kolk discuss this idea of interconnectedness between who we are in our mind's eye and how we relate to our inner self, to our own inner and outer self, perhaps, in an effort to be who we want to be as we engage others. So maybe inside you are dealing with the trauma of your ambiguous loss and your disenfranchised grief by telling yourself to avoid memories and situations that remind you of your trauma. Or perhaps you're unable to construct such rigidity and therefore are constantly being flooded and overwhelmed with the memories connected to this traumatic loss. Either way, having a dysregulated nervous system makes it difficult for you to stay focused in the present, and it often causes one to inadvertently shape and define themselves by their trauma. So regardless of whether you are practicing active avoidance or being constantly flooded and overwhelmed, you are stuck in a cycle that is hindering your ability to genuinely connect with others. And since we are created for interconnection with others, this only negatively compounds your emotional stress. This is not unusual. People who experience trauma often feel shame, a sense of inadequacy, and a general feeling of being a failure And they get stuck in this trauma cycle of thinking, which begins to shape and define a new identity for them. So, how can you get back to finding purpose and peace in the here and the now? Well, according to research, you have to learn to access self-compassion by rewiring your brain. I know you're probably thinking right now, how in the world am I going to do that? Well, one technique that you can do at home, and we are going to learn about today, is called mindfulness. Mindfulness is more than just meditation. It is the practice of learning to cultivate a moment-by-moment awareness through consciously staying in the present and attending to relevant aspects of your experience in a non-judgmental way. Research has demonstrated that individuals with higher degrees of mindfulness have greater resiliency, and thereby they increase their life satisfaction. As you practice, these things will strengthen the logical and emotional centers of your brain. This will increase your awareness of and attention to the present moment, through which we experience our emotions. And we'll do this in a non-judgmental way. This will increase our ability to regulate our behavioral response to our emotions, regardless of what life throws our way. This is because mindfulness is the opposite of autopilot. It is complete awareness. It is being in and operating in the present moment at the same time. To be mindful means to let go of the past and to not worry about the future, even if you can only do it for a moment. It is the slowing down, the pausing to notice how much joy is in the world. Maybe you're noticing the joy of scratching the back of your dog and how much peace that brings you. Or how it feels when your hairdresser brushes your hair. Or as you close your eyes and turn to the sun and feel its warmth upon your face. Or maybe how your senses come alive as you breathe in the fresh springtime air after an afternoon rain. It is these moments where you push the pause button and begin to be present in the moment that you step towards growing your ability to stay mindful. And this will be helpful. It'll help you to stay in the moment and regulate your emotions so that when your alienating co-parent or ex-daughter-in-law or son-in-law shows up, you won't be reacting out of your anxiety and out of your pain. This will help when you have a child who is in a meltdown during a transition, or you see your adult child and your grandchild as they are doing an about face in the grocery store, or when your calls, texts, or emails go unanswered, or perhaps a card you sent, you find it in your mailbox and it's stamped return to sender. Learning how to use mindfulness in the off moments, in the subtle moments, will prepare you for these moments, these anxiety-filled moments, to respond with calmness during that distress. It is patience in a fit of fury. Now, mindfulness is not a cure-all. It will not guard you from life's perils or suddenly change your attitude. It is in the small moments every day where you pause and turn off autopilot and notice the goodness within your world. mindfulness will not change the things in your world. It will change how you react to the things in your life by helping you see the things with a new perspective. So now I would like to take some time that we have left to guide you through a series of mindfulness exercises. But before we get started, I need to tell you a couple of things. First, I want to invite you to have a notebook or paper handy to reflect on this process once we're finished. And second, you'll need to go and grab a piece of candy, perhaps a mint or a piece of gum, or a small snack, or even a glass of water, or some other beverage. Now, I'm not encouraging anybody to go get any alcohol or anything, just so we're clear. As we will be including some of this in our practice in just a little bit. And last, I want you to find a nice, comfortable place. Now, nobody can see you, so you can move around wherever you want. And I want you to either lay down or sit down. We'll be here for about 20, 25 minutes. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to prepare. So while you're doing that, just remember, piece of paper, pen, or notebook. You need some gum or some mints, something to drink, but not alcohol. And find a nice, comfy spot wherever you can get comfortable. You know, I was thinking this is actually probably better than if we were in person, because then if we were in person, you'd be stuck in a chair somewhere right now, or laying on the floor in a hotel dining room. That might be uncomfortable. So maybe this is the perfect place for us to be doing this. I'm just going to give you a few more seconds. And then we'll get started. Well, great. I hope you have everything. And I just want to remind you that this practice builds on itself. So when we finish one phase, we will carry those observations and lessons to the next. Now, if you were in session with me, we may or may not go through the whole thing. But since I'm not going to see you next week, we are going to go through the whole thing. I will provide some things that Elaine can put up for some guidance on how to do this if you want to do it by yourself later. So I hope you're comfortable, and we're going to get started. We live in a society that's always doing, and often we are not doing. It often brings up all sorts of feelings for us, and almost negatively. If we find a moment where we're not busy doing, sometimes people start to get really anxious about that. And I bring this up because as we enter this practice of mindfulness, each of you will experience whatever arises in your experience. That is to say, there is no right or wrong way to feel during a mindfulness practice. Some of you may begin to feel anxious, rushed, or even angry, while others of you may feel relaxed and maybe slightly distracted or even bored. Whatever you're feeling is fine. It's just the way you're feeling. Just accept it and don't judge it. Mindfulness is not a relaxation technique, although you may begin to feel relaxed. Rather, it is a technique of learning about being. And since we are human beings and not human doings, let's begin our practice of getting back to being by bringing awareness to our breathing. Remember, whenever you get distracted, wherever you go in your mind, just notice it and then let it go. Find my voice and gently guide yourself back to the moment with me, with us. Now find a comfortable position, either seated or laying down. You can close your eyes or keep them open with a soft gaze, meaning you don't really need to focus. Just relax. Remember, no one can see you, so find the position for you that is most comfortable. Let's begin by focusing on your breathing as a way to become centered. Just let the sensation of the breath fill your awareness. So take a long, slow, deep breath, breathing in fully and exhaling fully. Again, breathe in through your nose and out through either your nose or mouth, whichever you choose in this moment. Don't try to control your breath in any way. Just continue to breathe and allow your breath to find its own natural rhythm. Just observe and accept your experience in this moment without judgment, paying attention only to each inhale and each exhale. If your mind wanders and you start to have some thoughts or plans or problems, simply just notice them. Watch your thoughts as neutrally as possible as they enter your awareness, and then bring yourself back to your breathing. Just practice letting go of each thought as if it were a leaf floating downstream. In your mind, place each thought that arises on a leaf and watch it as it floats out downstream. Then bring your attention back to your breathing. Notice as the air you inhale enters your nostrils. Notice as it travels down your lungs and causes your chest to expand. And notice each exhale as your chest falls and the air moves up through your lungs, back up through your nostrils or your mouth, and out. Invite your full attention to flow with your breath. Notice how the inhale is different from the exhale. You may notice the air is cool as it enters your nose and warm as you exhale. Your breath is an anchor. You can return to it over and over again when you become distracted by your thoughts. Just notice when your mind has wandered. Observe the type of thoughts that hook or distract you. Notice as the richest part of learning. With this knowledge, you can strengthen your ability to detach from thoughts and mindfully focus your awareness back on the qualities of your breath. And practice coming home to the breath with your full attention. Feel and observe your breath deep down in your belly. Feel your abdomen as it expands greatly on the inhale and as it falls back towards your spine in the exhale. Focus on being totally here in each moment with each breath. Feel the rise of your stomach and your chest on the inhale. Now relax and let go on the exhale. Just allow yourself to completely breathe in and out. Do not try to manipulate your breathing in any way or try changing it. Simply be aware of it and of the feelings associated with breathing. You're not focusing or try to do anything or get any place. You are simply being with your breath. If you become distracted by pain or discomfort in your body or twitching, itching sensations, then draw your attention away from your breath. Just notice these and focus back on anchoring yourself on your breath. Notice the feelings that arise. Perhaps there is sadness or happiness, frustration or contentment. Acknowledge whatever comes up by including thoughts and stories about your experience, whatever it is. Just simply notice where your mind went without judging it, without pushing it away, without clinging to it or wishing it were different. Simply notice it and then refocus your mind and guide your attention back to your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Follow the air all the way in and all the way out. Mindfully be present in this moment, each moment, breath by breath. Now we're going to begin to shift your attention away from your breath and begin to focus your attention on your 5 senses. And we will attend to each sense one at a time. Let's begin with focusing your attention on sight. I want you to look around. Take everything in. Don't rush. Just process what you notice, and I will guide you. You're not looking for the obvious things, the big things. Rather, I want you to focus your attention on looking for small details. Draw your attention to 1 or 2 things. Maybe you're noticing the pattern on the ceilings, walls, or floor. Perhaps you're noticing the way that the light reflects off of a surface or an object. Is there something you are seeing now that you've never noticed before? Remember, do not judge what you are seeing. Just notice it. Now let go of sight and shift your awareness over to becoming aware of what you can physically feel by touch. Let's start by putting your hands together. You can grasp your hands together or simply place them in a prayer position. Maybe you even begin rubbing them together, whatever is comfortable for you. Now settle in and let your awareness become filled with the sensation of skin touching skin. Do you feel warmth or cold? Are your hands smooth or calloused? Are there rough or dry spots? Remember, you're not judging, you're just noticing. Now notice the sensation of the clothes on your body. Focus on feeling the fabric against your skin. Is it soft and flowing over your body? Or are there places where the fabric is rough or binding? If you're near a window or outside, just notice how the sun or wind feels on your skin. Is it warm, or is there a slight coolness to what you feel? Notice how the chair or the floor feels underneath you. Do you feel it supporting you, or are you supporting it? Are there soft or hard places? If there's something within arm's length, go ahead and grasp it, pick it up. What's its texture? Is it heavy or light? Does it feel smooth or rough, cold or warm, hard or soft? What are some other physical qualities? I want you to let that go now and let your awareness shift to what you can hear. Let your awareness become filled with all the sounds around you. Now begin to focus in on different noises. Separate them out. Hear each one at a time. Remember, you are not judging it. You're simply giving yourself permission to notice what you're hearing without having to respond. Pay special attention to the sounds your mind has tuned out, such as the humming of a fan, the buzzing of an appliance, maybe traffic in the distance, or the wind blowing through the trees. Perhaps you can hear crickets, frogs, or birds singing. Just focus in on what you hear. And remember, you're not judging, only noticing. And if your mind wanders away to a thought or an emotion, just notice without judging and gently guide yourself back to your breathing, back to hearing. Now I want you to shift your awareness to what you can smell. Try to notice smells in the air around you, like an air freshener, candle, maybe a pot of coffee, or maybe somebody's making something in the kitchen. Perhaps you're outside or near an open window and you can smell some flowers or freshly mowed grass, or maybe it's raining where you are. You can smell the fresh air of the rain. Just let the aromas fill your awareness. Now I want you to move on to the sense of taste. Remember that stick of gum or candy or small snack I asked you to get at the beginning of our practice? I want you to pop that in your mouth now, or take a sip of the water and let the sense of taste fill your awareness. Because food is often combined with celebrations and other gatherings, often during this part of the practice, people notice their thoughts drifting to an event or a time in their life where there was a celebration. If you are aware that this is happening, just notice it without judging and gently guide yourself back to my voice, back to noticing the sensation of taste. Is it sweet? Is it peppermint or spearmint? Are you really noticing that water actually does have a taste? Just sit with the sensation of taste. We are building our mindfulness practice. We started with grounding ourselves in breathing. We've then moved on to alerting our five senses. And now we're going to do a body scan. Each one of these steps builds on the other to help us become fully present in the moment. So I want you to take a deep breath as we begin our body scan. Remember to breathe fully and to allow the breath to flow freely in and out of your body. Allow this to be a nourishing time, a time to give yourself the freedom to just be. That is how we heal inside, when we learn to just be. Do not try hard to relax, as this will actually create tension. Just focus on being aware of each passing moment. Accept whatever is happening, whatever comes up for you, and allow yourself to be exactly who, where, and what you are right now. Now bring your attention to the fact that you are breathing. Don't change your breathing in any way, but simply experience the air as it comes in and out of your body. Become aware of the abdomen rising as the air comes into your body and falling as the air moves out. Don't control your breathing. Just become aware of the rhythm, the flow, how your breath naturally flows, how your abdomen lifts, and how it falls. Now, on your next exhale, Direct your attention from your breath all the way through your body and come to rest your awareness on your facial region, letting the sensation of your muscles and bones of the face fill your awareness. Move your attention to your forehead, to the top of your scalp, down the sides, past your ears, to your jaw, your throat, and your mouth. Notice any sensations here. Perhaps there's a coolness or a warmth. Notice the tightness in your jaw. Or is it relaxed? Are your lips pursed tightly? Or are they slightly open? Is your tongue at the top of your mouth or the bottom? Take a deep breath in and out. And now move your attention to your shoulders. Are they tight and hunched up by your ears, or relaxed and pulled down your back? Move down your shoulders, down both arms, to the ends of your fingers. What sensations are you noticing? Are your fingers warm or cold? Are your hands clenched or open? Do your hands feel moist or dry? Can you feel the sensation of your blood pulsing through your fingers, hands, and wrist? Just let the awareness of your shoulders, arms, and hands fill you. Now breathe in and bring in the energy and freshness, and breathe out to release any tension or tightness. Just let it go. Now bring your attention to your upper back and chest. Move down your lower back and abdomen. Feel your rib cage with each breath. Feel it expand in the front to back as you inhale, and feel the sides collapse from left to right as you exhale. Let your awareness focus on your heart beating and how it feels. Is it racing or relaxed? Is your chest tight or is it loose? Breathe in peace and breathe out, releasing any tension. Bring your attention now to the place where your thigh bones rest in your hip sockets, and scan your attention across your hips. Continue scanning through your awareness all the way down your right leg to your big toe on your right foot. As you scan, pay attention to your bones, your skin, your tendons. How do they feel? Are they tired? Are they stiff? Or are they relaxed? Bring your awareness to what is happening in your body right now. What sensations are coming up for you? Perhaps there's a cool feeling or dryness. Maybe there's some moisture or tingling. Feel how your foot makes contact with the surface upon which it is resting. Is it pressed down with tension or is it relaxed? Breathe in and out, and move your attention now to the other toes of your right foot. Coming now to your arch and heel. Focus your attention on your entire foot. Notice any sensation, including how your skin and bones feel of your foot. As you breathe in, imagine the oxygen being carried down through your whole body, all the way to your foot. Can you feel the pulsation of your foot as the oxygenated blood rushes in? And breathing out now, leaving your foot, moving back up your right leg, across your hips to your left leg, scanning through your awareness all the way down your left leg to the big toe on your left foot. As you scan, pay attention to your bones, your skin, your tendons. How do they feel? Are they tired, stiff, or relaxed? Is this side different from your other side? I want you to just notice what is happening in your body right now. What sensations are coming up for you? When you reach your left foot, focus your awareness on how your foot feels resting on the surface. Is it cool, warm, moist, dry? Is it tingling? Breathe in and out and move your attention now to your other toes of your left foot. And rest your attention on the arch and heel of your foot. Are you experiencing any tension or pain, or maybe nothing at all? Focusing attention on your entire foot, notice any sensations that you're having, the skin, the bones. Breathing in now, imagine the oxygenated blood carrying down into your foot, all the way to your bottom of your left foot. Can you feel the pulsation in your foot as the oxygenated blood rushes in? And breathe out. Leaving your foot and now moving back up your leg, scanning through your awareness all the way up your left leg and back into your hips. Moving your attention now from your hips to your lower back. Imagine that you're following that oxygenated blood up your spine. Become aware of each vertebrae of your spine, of this sophisticated central nervous system that branches out to all parts of your body, and how it is protected and encased in your spine. Shifting your focus to your muscles and the skin of your back, allow the muscles to ease and release with each breath. Bringing your attention now to the crown of your head, and imagine that energy can be drawn up from the crown of your head, filling the entire body. Breathe in from the crown of your head and breathe in to your neck, shoulders, arms, and hand. Breathing into your torso, your upper and lower torso, through your legs to your feet. Breathe out the soles of your feet. Allow the body to breathe as a whole right now. Knowing that science has finally validated the truth regarding the laws of creation, that opening awareness to the sensations of one's body is a powerful source of wisdom and intuition. Being able to find the places in your body that are hurting instead of just generally hurting, to focus on the parts of your body that need attention. I invite you to take a deeper breath, breathing in from the soles of your feet and filling your feet, your ankles, your lower legs, your knees, your thighs, your hip region, lower back, your abdomen, your middle back, chest, and upper back. Just fill yourself with the air, filling your hands and wrists and lower arms, your elbows, upper arms, your shoulders, neck, throat, face, and head. And breathe out again. Now let the sensation of the whole body be filled with an awareness. We're now going to direct our attention to the mental activity of our emotions, our thoughts, our mental activities, memories, beliefs, intentions, hopes, and dreams. I encourage you to invite any mental activities, any thoughts or feelings or memories to just come. Just being open to whatever does or does not arise. I warn you, this is the part of the technique that many are most uncomfortable with. But don't check out. We have laid the foundation of breathing, of centering, of body scanning to help guide you through this part. So just trust the process and stay with me. I'm inviting you to become the architect of your mental life, to study your mental activities, to first be present, to bring your awareness and to stay present, and then let it leave your awareness. I'm going to be quiet now and let you sit with this for just a few seconds. Just let things arise to your awareness. You've only been sitting here for about 15 seconds, but some of you have been very uncomfortable. If we had started here without doing our grounding exercises first, many of you would have become too irritated to continue with the mindfulness practice. That's why it's so important to first ground ourselves completely. And take away all of the angst of the day before we begin to really focus on our emotions. Sitting still with our emotions is the most difficult part when we're experiencing trauma. I invite you to just let these feelings, these thoughts, and whatever mental activities you have, whatever memories, to just come into your awareness. Are the thoughts coming and arising suddenly or gradually? And how do these thoughts present themselves? Do they stay in the present or do they leave? Are they unraveling quickly? Sometimes when they unravel quickly and send us off into anxiety, I think of it like vibrating because it vibrates your whole central nervous system. Just want you to notice what's happening for you. Do the memories or thoughts or mental activity, is it hard or easy for them to leave your awareness? Does it leave from one place and go to another? Is that gradual or sudden? Does one mental activity or thought get replaced by another? Does a thought or a memory get replaced by a feeling? And if it didn't immediately get replaced by another mental activity, what does the gap feel like for you between each mental activity? What does it feel like to sit in the present without having to react to the anxiety, the fear, the sadness, the confusion? What does it feel like to just sit in that gap? Now let your awareness become filled with the sensation of connecting to family and friends who are not immediately near you. Notice the sudden or gradual thoughts that arise in your awareness about these relationships. How are these thoughts presenting themselves? Are they staying present? Are they solid? Are they vibrating? Are they fading in or out? And maybe simply a smile that spreads across your face, or your chest becomes warm. Or maybe you're feeling tears and your chest is tight. Whatever the effect, allow yourself to feel it. Now let go of this person in your imagination and keeping in the awareness the feeling that has arisen. Notice any other mental activity, any thought or emotion, how it appears and leaves your awareness. Does the thought take you from one place to another? gradually or suddenly? Does it get replaced by one mental activity or another? Like another thought or a feeling? Are they linking from one place to the other? Are they coming rushing in, or are they just slow? Can you bring yourself to the present? Can you just let go? Can you just notice an awareness of what's happening and bring yourself back to your breathing? If you were in my office, we would move on to doing this exercise with now a sense of connection to a community, to your neighborhood, to activities that you do. And then we would move on to seeing if you could sit by yourself just for a moment. I want you to take a nice deep breath. Just notice what's going on. Notice your breathing. Notice if you can hear anything, see anything, feel anything. Notice the emotions that are coming up for you. Just notice them. Don't judge them. Just let them go back. Always bringing yourself back to the awareness of your breath. I invite you to find your breath. Again, breathe in and out. Let go of any control of the breath and allow yourself to just lie or sit in complete stillness. Just let the breath flow freely in and out of your body in a natural cycle as it moves throughout your whole body. Become aware and fully experience your body breathing in and feel the breath as it moves into, throughout your body, and as it is then released. This acceptance and stillness. This is healing. Allow the universe to be just as it is, beyond personal fears and concerns, beyond a mind that wants things a certain way. See yourself as complete right now, just as you are, and look deeply into the limitlessness of life, into the fullness of your capacity to live in fullness, into the capacity to care and to love in fullness. Experience being totally awake, completely whole right now, being a part of whole as you are, as you lie and sit there in stillness. Now take a deep breath, more intentional breathing, beginning to move your fingers, your toes, moving and stretching in a way that feels right to you. And as this practice is coming to an end, I invite you to bring your awareness back to this room, back to where you are right now, here. There's no need to rush. And when you feel ready, open your eyes if you've had them closed. This experience of becoming mindful, the more you practice, the more you will be able to come to a stillness. In those moments when you are faced with seeing your ex-daughter-in-law or son-in-law or co-parent, and the anxiety starts to rise up, you'll be able to go back as you practice these mindful exercises. You'll be able to go back and you'll be able to just notice the feelings that are coming up to you and release them without judgment or reaction. You'll be able to find peace in the stillness of the awareness of your presence. And you'll be able to react in a very calm response. I'm going to end this practice by asking each of you to just take your time as you move out of this. And I thank you for being able to be still. And when you journal, and I invite you to journal about this, I want you to notice what were the things that came up for you. Where was the anxiety? Did you find anxiety in having to sit for those moments and rest? Did you feel like you should be up and doing something? Or were you okay? And as you continue to use this practice, you'll notice that more and more you'll become at peace with sitting in the gap, in the stillness of the present. I thank you, and I will see you next time.